What's up everyone? So Merry Christmas, welcome to the channel, and I hope you guys are excited because we have a pretty good video today. The channel finally hit 12 hours of watch time. That's very likely not a lot to a majority of you guys. However, to me, I feel like that's pretty awesome. I finally got my new camera, the Sony a6400, and you guys would have known about this if you guys follow me on Instagram. Link is down in the description below. I do a lot of sneak peeks and stuff that you guys can see ahead before it even comes out on the channel, as well as some stuff that the channel won't see, which is kind of cool. So feel free to check that up and I'd appreciate it also. So what we're covering today is, should you be concerned about the new Cybertruck coming and taking over the truck market, making the standardized gas truck, diesel truck look obsolete and not even worth your time anymore? And I'm here to kind of discuss a few different reasons why you might want to reconsider if you think that the electric trucks are going to be taking over right away. First thing I'll show you guys. So I made this pretty nice chart here, and this is going to go over a lot of the stuff that basically will determine which vehicle is better. Now you can compare with any other trucks obviously. I chose Ram myself because, as you would know if you have subscribed or follow the channel or have seen even a few of my videos, is I myself have Ram, so I'm kind of more so associated to the Ram company. The Cybertruck comes with a single, dual, and tri-motor version. And essentially all it means is that they're adding in an electric motor every single step up. So they have 3 tiers, just as the standardized trucks do with the 1500, 2500, and 3500. So that's why I have all 6, and I'm comparing them all kind of together in this video. So let's check out this chart now. So these are our graphs, and we have on the left side basically your towing capacity, in the middle is going to be your travel distance, and on the right is going to be your pricing. From left to right, it's going from single to tri-motor, as well as 1500 to 3500. You'll see right here that the Rams are kind of kicking ass. Your towing capacity in the Ram models are going to be a lot higher. They're just a lot more capable, and you have to keep in mind that the towing will actually drain your battery a lot faster. It's just like using something such as a flashlight on high power versus low power. It's obviously going to demand a lot more power, and thus you're going to drain the battery a lot faster. With the Rams and the way that they're set up, they're going to have a multi-gear transmission, which is going to allow this to stay relatively high. It will definitely drop when you start adding weight onto the vehicle. You can't really avoid that, but the thing is, the Rams with their multi-gearing are going to handle the additional payload a lot better than a Cybertruck with a single battery and single gear ratio would be able to handle it itself. So one thing I think a lot of people have to keep in mind is that this is all a very new technology, and Cybertruck, as well as any other electric vehicles, are not necessarily very common yet. With that being said, you have to keep in mind that there's not going to be too many charging stations. Now over at the distance for a single use tank or battery, you can see right here that, the single and dual motors are, they do pretty good for batteries. However, the thing is, it just can't keep up, and the tri-motor Cybertruck is doing definitely a lot better, and out of all the vehicles will definitely be a lot more convenient to have. But still, in comparison, the Ram 1500 is very, very comparable. I'm going to show you something now. In Alberta, where I'm from in Canada, electric vehicles are definitely here, but they are not overly huge, and we do have a lot of long straightaway drives with nothing else there. Obviously there's gas stations and stuff, but like I said, with electric vehicles being a new initiative in technology, we just don't simply have as many charging stations as you might want. This is Edmonton, and that is the only charging station in the northern parts of Alberta. Now, if you were having to go up that way for work in Fort Mac or something like that, you're looking at a pretty good drive, as well as no place to charge. So with this distance being 724 kilometers here, you can see that you would be able to make it from this charger all the way down to Edmonton one way with the tri-motor Cybertruck. That is the highest model. Now keep in mind, if you were using any of the other ones, you would not even make this drive once. So with that being said, you can see, like, yeah, it's a really great idea to have electric vehicles. They are very efficient without load and such, just as passenger vehicles. But the thing is, if you cannot have these electric stations set up in time for vehicles to roll out onto the roads that do utilize these batteries, and you can't charge them, then they practically become completely useless in these areas. So yes, if you're in some place that is highly populated and very likely has a lot of these chargers, someplace like down in, I bet you, California, then it is a very viable option to have these vehicles. So as you can see in Alberta, as far as we are aware, it is just not very viable to have these electric vehicles, especially considering I can probably count on my two hands all these stations that there are, and you have to share that with however many people are buying these electric vehicles. It just at some point becomes way too much. Keep in mind also that even if you make it to a charging station, you still have to wait 20, 40, 75 minutes for a full charge. So what are you going to do in that hour and 15 minutes that you're just sitting around? You know, kind of sucks. Where the thing is, if you need a reliable work vehicle, you can take any of these trucks, you can drive anywhere, find a gas station, fill up within 5 minutes, and be gone with the exact same kilometer rating. And that's going to be highly beneficial to a lot of people and companies. You can see that the Cybertrucks are way more expensive, especially in comparison to the 2020 Ram 1500s, 2500s, and 3500s. These are all going to be entry-level Rams, so obviously adding packages and extra features will bump up these prices, but as far as a capable work vehicle is concerned, these are about what you can expect to receive through the Ram pricing model, where you can definitely see that the Cybertrucks are quite a bit higher, especially up to close to $100,000 in Canadian. I think one thing that Tesla did that was very gutsy, that I don't know if it was the best choice for them, was that they made the truck look very futuristic. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, like it's always a good thing to innovate, but the thing is, if the truck actually rolls out like this, who do you find is gonna like hop in this vehicle and drive it? Joe Blow isn't going to drive this to his construction site. They just, don't care for it. They're not going to pay almost $100,000 Canadian to drive something that looks like that when all they need is the reliability, durability, as well as the functionality of one of these other trucks. So in that case, the Ram is always going to take it. When you can go online and probably find a Ram for a few $1,000s versus $100,000 for a fully functional Cybertruck that can barely surpass the Ram 1500, which is a very low model truck for work sites. So another thing that kind of bugs me about this whole Cybertruck thing is you can see through their illustrations and such at the car show that they took the Cybertruck to, is you can see that they're trying to build it like a tank. I mean, I get it, that's awesome. It's going to be very durable, cool. But the thing is, as far as that goes on the road, how is that going to be certified on the streets? Well, okay, let me dumb it down. Let me put it this way. Take this beautiful R34 and take this big rock, because that's essentially all the Cybertruck is. It's a big, stupid, ugly rock. If the vehicle doesn't allow itself to crumple and it hits you, now, not only is it going to shatter this, but it's also going to probably hurt the people inside the rock quite a bit. Okay, no more rocks. Basically what I'm getting at, if the Cybertruck doesn't crumple, if it doesn't allow any deformation of the vehicle as far as the exterior goes, the person that is going to get actually hit by this, or that potentially collides with it, is basically going to take all of the crumpling on their end, because there's no allowance from the other end, being the Cybertruck. That not only could put the people in the passenger vehicle hitting the Cybertruck in more risk, but it could also put a lot of risk on to the people inside the Cybertruck, because if it's not allowing any crumpling, then that means that it's just a solid hit. There's no allowance for any kind of rebound or any kind of softening, deadening of the blow. Not that I am an engineer for Tesla or anything, but just saying, like, from a bystander point of view, I can't imagine how that would be safe for anyone to get into a potential accident with the Cybertruck if it's practically indestructible and you can't even smash it with a sledgehammer. Not all of my data was completely scientific. Some of it was just perspective and kind of thoughts that I had about the vehicle. Some of it was with the graphing. I did my best to try to make everything as comparable as possible, as well as not biased to either or side. Let me know what you guys thought about some of the data. If you guys have any other input, As far as I see it though, the Rams or any other gasoline trucks just have too much of an advantage over these electric vehicles. I think these electric vehicles are a very capable passenger vehicle, but as far as work, towing, the distances they can travel, and just all the functionality of a truck, I do not believe, right now at least, that the Cybertruck is going to be that game changer. And I will say that maybe it's a step in the right direction, but I think it's going to be decades before we actually have to worry about the electric vehicles in general taking over what gas vehicles can do. So let me know what you think in the description down below. Are you planning on picking up a Cybertruck? Are you considering it? Or do you think that the gas jobs and diesel trucks just have it kind of in the bag for now? If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. I check the videos every single day, as I take a lot of pride in what I'm trying to do with these videos, which also means that I would appreciate it a lot if you would consider subscribing and help me grow my platform so that way I can kind of turn this into something bigger than what it is right now. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and have a good one.